And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. I'm Gary Kaltbaum, your host. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Glad you're here, ladies and gentlemen. Happy that you are listening. It is June 10th, 2025. It is Tuesday. Hope you're having a good day. Every day above ground is a good day, I must say. Thanks for joining. As always, it is serious talk about everything that affects you. That's what we do here. We will talk markets, the economy, your job, your industry, nonsense, debt and deficits, obfuscations, and just plain old tired of the BS. That's what we'll cover today. And of course, if you do not get this radio show in your city, we'll post it at GaryK.com. We'll also post it on our Twitter feed, which is now X. We'll also post it on the podcast apps. And if you don't follow us on X, you should. No, really, you should. I remember we had 90,000 followers, and then one day I had said that Bernie Sanders, this is before Elon bought, I said that Bernie Sanders' economic policy was communistic. They shut me down for a day. It came back and I was missing 60,000 followers. Whatever. And if you'd like to email me, you just got to be nice. You know, that should not be too hard. You just gotta be nice. Why? Because we're going to be nice back to you. Always. With respect. Regardless whether you completely agree with me or completely disagree with me, and vice versa. It should be pretty simple. What we're seeing in LA is a bunch of people that do not act decently. I did get one email. Interesting. At least Newsom stands up to Trump. All scumbag Ron DeSantis does is kiss Trump's fat arse like you do. So somebody's accusing me of kissing Trump's fat arse. Do you know how many emails I've received in the last few weeks from people saying, why are you so mean to Trump? It's amazing how people see things. Too funny. But let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. If you know what we are dealing with right now during the Trump administration, Tesla, I believe on Thursday dropped, was it Thursday? Let me make sure of this before I give you the Thursday dropped, let's see, closed the day before at 332, closed at 284, 49 points. It has gotten back 42 of those points in 3 days. Do you want to hear the reason why Tesla stock was up like $17 today? Tesla higher by 4%, attributed to President Trump wishing CEO Elon Musk very well last night. This is what we're dealing with. Not throwing blame. It's just insanity. It dropped because they were fighting. We're talking tens of billions of dollars of market movement in Tesla. I cannot give you a technical opinion on the stock because it is like your 3-year-old taking out some crayons and drawing on a piece of paper. Next. So the market today was one of those all over the map days. But it came out that the reason why the market finished up was because Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick tells reporters that China trade talks are going really, really well. Talks could continue tomorrow, and the market got bumped up on that. What I'm always amazed about the markets, and we're talking markets now, but as you know, we are talking markets and what affects them and the movement. You now have an administration, and this is not making it up, that weeks ago, not going to put a number, but weeks with an S ago, said 150 countries were calling us. It changed to 80, then 50, then 30. Weeks ago said they were days away from 15, 10, 8, 6, 3 trade deals. Weeks ago, everything's great. Now, the fact is they are meeting with the Chinese trade people. And now they're saying they're going very, very well. And I always ask the question, do you think Howard Lutnick would ever come out and say the trade talks suck and are going poorly? What is the line about Missouri? The show me state. I got news for you. I didn't believe a freaking word out of Joe Biden for 4 years. I don't believe a freaking word coming out of the Trump administration right now. That doesn't mean they're lying or telling the truth. It's just become so tiresome to deal with. They crashed the markets, uncrashed them the next day because they crashed the markets, blamed it on everything else. And for the last bunch of weeks, everything is great and there's nothing happened. The UK is going to get some planes. They went to the Saudi Arabia and they're talking about who's going to spend what. And we all know this is just about currying favor, and nobody's going to spend the numbers they say they're going to spend in the United States because some of them don't even have the numbers. So it's tiresome. And let me be clear, I'm making hay in this market. I'm not complaining about that. I am worried about, I got 3 years and what? How many more months of this? On top of that, the BS they are spewing on this bill is just beyond the beyond. Do you all know that we are going to go into 22 trillion more debt over the next 10 years? Yet the head of the OMB came out and said they're going to cut the debt 1.6 trillion. Only in Washington, D.C., you're going to add 22 trillion to the debt, but cut 1.6 trillion, and it's a cut. These people are sick in the freaking mind. The good news is the bond market's still cooperating. And let's hope that continues. Back on markets. You can see I got a little angry today. It's just so nauseating. To have to read a stock is up because the president said something nice, we got to get past all this crap. We really do. And this has come from, and I'm sorry, this has come from the president and control. It's the last thing we want. The president threatened Elon Musk on his subsidies and contracts. It's the last thing we want. I hope we get back to some normal. My hope is not strong. They crashed the market once. Don't think for a second they couldn't do it again. And let me state for the record, I don't have Trump derangement syndrome. I think he's done some terrific things. And in fact, I am enamored with him on what he's doing in Los Angeles, in spite of the sickly, psychopathic nut job of the media and the Democratic politicians. The number one job of the president is to protect the citizens. And I got news for you. Citizens were not being protected in Los Angeles. Up next, markets. I got to finish with the LA thing, but a lot markets. This is the one only Investor's Edge. Let me finish on the LA thing. You've got reporters doing live feeds while cars are burning and people are throwing bricks off of overpasses onto who knows and saying it's peaceful. You've got people like Maxine Waters. It's peaceful. How dare the president come in and do what he did? And he's the one who's causing all this. That's from the politicians, the mayor of LA and the governor. I got news for you. The president should be applauded for doing one thing, the most important thing of a president or a leader of any community, and that is to protect the citizenry. And I got news for you. That crap was getting out of hand, and I don't think it's over. We're talking with anarchists that hate, we know they hate Jews, and you know what that's about. They just hate democracy. They hate the United States. People are being interviewed saying, I saw an interview of one of them yesterday saying, I won't be happy until we're communist. That guy wouldn't have lasted 1 minute with me interviewing him. So the president goes in and sends the National Guard and are basically saying to these crooks, criminals, rioters, up yours. Let's go, try. And what do? Nice little rubber bullets. That'll put a welt in you. You gotta make them pay. And the guy who was throwing bricks at police cars, oh, there's a $50,000 FBI thing. He's on the run. And that goof, what's her name, Greta, going into Israel, and she blames Israel for kidnapping her. Forget what that even looks like, that she won't even look at the October 7th documentary on what the kidnapping and murder by Hamas. She had the nerve to say kidnapping. These are the things we're dealing with. These are nuts. They're anarchists. They're loons. So before you tell me TDS on the president for what I don't like, I love that he ignored all the morons in the New York Times and the Washington Post, and he let LA know, I'm here to protect you. And by that, any other city that has uprisings, I'm going to protect you also. Good on him. I saw CNN crapping in their pants because to this day his numbers on immigration and what he's doing are very positive. And at the same time, LA had a little earthquake today. All right, back on markets. So I mentioned to you Tesla. Listen, I'm just telling you like it is. That's what happened in the last 3 days. I would love to be in the stock, but I don't know how to place something that goes down $48 in a day and back up $42 in 3 days and is still a mess. So that's number one. Number two, we've been telling you about the semiconductors. We're going one by one now. Another good day. The SOX was up 105. The semis were up 2%. I want to make it known, though, very important. I put out a webcast to my peeps today. If you look at the ETFs like the SMH, is doing much better than the average semiconductor stock. But 43% of the SMH is NVIDIA, Broadcom, and Taiwan Semi. Those three are the ones that are up there, while so many are way, way down. Again, influence. We talk about the negative influence also. United Health. The Dow would be so much better, but United Health is down 2,000 Dow points in about 8-10 weeks. But the semis, another very good day today, another very strong day today. That's all I can tell you. And even when the market was getting a little kicked in the teeth midday, as soon as the market righted itself, what led back up? The semis. They are now stretched, extended, overbought in the midst of massive resistance, so maybe they pull back first, but it's still game. Semis. We've told you about the oils the last couple of days. Another good day for the oils, even with oil prices pulling back a little bit today. Oils have been in a bear market. They're still overall in a bear market. There's only a few names that have any leadership qualities. This is more of a recovery, not much more than that. Those are the oils. We said to you also the insurance stocks look like they're topping. They weakened even more today. Just letting you know. The hospital stocks weakened even more today. I don't know exactly what news, but you know when hospitals get paid by government, and I got to tell you something, they really need to fix themselves up. There should be much better disclosure from these hospitals. I told you my story, right? And by the way, let me be clear and concise first. I love the people at the hospitals. Do you know how much time I've spent in hospitals up in New Jersey? First from my mom that passed and now my father. The nurses, the doctors are magnificent. The hospitals and their billing sucks. And they know it. I love these people so much there. When I was in New Jersey just now for my father's hospital stay, 3 days in a row I took out $75 on credit cards and bought pizza for the wing. That's how cool these people were. Disney in the Dow, new yearly high today at the close with some volume. IBM in the Dow, new yearly high with some volume today. Yeah, Disney and IBM. Do not forget Disney closed today, even with this at 118, was all-time high was 203 and 21. But Iger is a determined man, and things have bettered. Is that a word, bettered? It is now. JP Morgan, not at highs. High was 280. But getting close to moving above another level. And let's throw in Goldman Sachs, the other one. Kind of getting close to moving above another stair step. Has not happened yet. We'll let you know if it does. Another financial Visa, almost at new yearly highs. Couldn't say that a few weeks ago. Up next, more on the markets. Every sector. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. And welcome once again to Investor's Edge. Hey, thanks for being with us today. Let's go over a few more things that are sticking out in the market. Gold itself was flat today, but gold miners pulled back even more. I think they're a hold, and I'm watching them as they pull back. Silver, which broke out, little pullback today, still pretty darn strong. I mentioned the oils. Amazingly, the transports are acting better also. In fact, closed at 15,171 today. The high of about 3 weeks ago was 15,189. A move above that would be another stair step. Keep in mind, and this is kind of important, and I didn't even realize this, even with this move up off the crash lows, the transports right now are trading where they traded 4 years and 2 months ago. The transports. The Russell 2000 was up again today. Keep in mind the Russell 2000 is trading right where it traded 4 years and 5 months ago. And that's coming off the bear market low and this recent tariff crash. But better. Will that last? Don't know. We'll just take it day by day. It was a rough day for some of the strength. Netflix was down $44, finished down 20, stuck the first initial moving average, but other names not so good. Duolingo 22, AXON down a juicy 21. ServiceNow down 17. And I got a bunch others, so roughed up day. They also came after the power energy crap. CEG, GEV, NRG, PWR, VST. We'll see if that continues. And some others. But overall, fine and dandy. Semis are strong. Financials may want to make a move. Transports are coming on. The oils are coming on. Eli Lilly was up $33. And I got to tell you, that's just one wild stock these days. I keep getting asked about it. Do you know Eli Lilly in the last year went from 966 to 747 in 4 weeks, back to 972 in about 3 weeks, down to 858 in about 6 weeks, up to 937 in 2 weeks, down to 711 in about 7 weeks, up to 846 in 3 weeks, down to 725 in 6 weeks, up to 935 in 6 weeks, down to 795 in a week, up to 874 in a week, down to 677 in 2 weeks, up to 902 in 2 weeks, down to 709 in 4 weeks, and it's back to over 800 in the last 2 weeks. Have fun with that one. Really? Really? Not much to say on the economically sensitive stuff. China rested today. And just some wicked news-driven stuff. This remains the most news-driven market we have ever seen. The market reacting to real-time stuff like we have never seen in the past. And that's because, and this is not a rub, but we really do have the most active and the most transparent president ever by far. There's not a day that goes by that he is not in front of the camera talking about what they are doing and why they are doing it. Today I was watching my peeps on Fox Business. Boom, he shows up for 40 minutes with his cabinet, taking questions. Joe freaking Biden was gone. I used to come on the show and say, where is the guy? Now, if only I had the president's ear, I can really save him a lot of crap. Mr. Logic here could save him. There would have been no crash. And some of the other things that are going on, I could have really helped out. No, really. I really could have helped out. But I am not in his atmosphere. But he does have great golf courses. I did par 18 at Trump, Scotland in the middle of a hailstorm and wind in my face. It's a 600-yard par 5. I still have the video. And may I say, that's one hell of a golf course. Semis. Can they continue? Yes. And they were in there today. Will it continue? Don't know. That's the story right now. They're really into the semiconductors. But I must say some AI stocks took it in the chin today. Didn't affect the semis at all. And NVIDIA, the head honcho top dog big cheese, finished, it is, got more work to do, but man, if it broke out of this whole year range, we'll let you know. The bond market yields were flattish today, no big deal. No big deal. Advanced declines, pretty good. No complaints there. Things like Meta, another relative high. Amazon acts well. In the big arena, big stocks. But a few going by the wayside. We'll keep you informed every day. But I got to tell you, we got to stay on our toes all the time right now. Man, oh man. Moving forward, we're pretty much past earnings, but I do know Oracle reports tomorrow, and that'll be of note, and Adobe reports on Thursday, two very important software companies. But after that, we will jump to the third week of July, when another whole new ball of wax on earnings front. We do believe earnings are okay, if not better than okay, as we move forward. We believe the economy is okay. Nothing spectacular. We do not want you to believe anything when you hear about crashes and smashes. You know who's out there saying we're going to melt down and croak. The rich dad, poor dad, whatever that's called. He's calling for the crash of all time. Harry Dent, the crash of all time. I love Harry Dent. He's never been wrong, he says. We don't believe in that talk. You first have to break certain areas before we can even talk that. And I can promise you, if semiconductors going up, if the financials break another level to the upside, especially the big banks, no chance, because the market is the greatest telegrapher of recessions and contractions and all that crap. Winston just walked in. Look at Winston walking into my office. 13 years old now, Winston. Had aggressive cancer almost 3 years ago. They didn't give him months. They tried to put him on chemo. He rejected it, wouldn't even get up on the bed, so we took him off it. And he's been good. But we know there's a shelf life. We're having a great time every day. Me and the big guy. Those of you who have dogs, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Man, oh man. Boy, oh boy. Europe was leading us, pulling back now. Asia, sitting. Up next, Visionary Minds. I'm Gary. This is the one and only Investor's Edge. Dun-dun-dun. Dun-dun-dun. You know, it really is so weird when you see a reporter with cars blowing up behind them, burning on fire, people throwing bricks saying it's peaceful. Visionary minds. We haven't done it in a few days. We told you about this. You go to, it's on Instagram. It's Visionary Minds with 2 Y's. Don't ask me why. But man, there's some great stuff. We'll do 2 today. Number 1, at 23, he had only $7 and hit rock bottom. He was rejected from football and booed in his wrestling debut. You know who that is, right? No money, no direction. No one believed in him. Today's a global icon worth over $800 million. This is the story of how he went from being rejected to becoming a global icon. He had dreamed of playing in the NFL. After playing for the University of Miami, he went undrafted. He signed with the Canadian Football League Calgary Stampeders, then got cut 2 months in. At 23 years old, he moved back in with his parents. By the way, his father was Rocky Johnson, the soul man Rocky Johnson, who I used to hang out with at Miami Beach Convention Center after the wrestling matches. He was a very nice guy. He had no direction and battled depression. Ooh, The Rock had depression. That's when he made a promise to himself this rock bottom would be the turning point. With no clear path, he turned to wrestling. It wasn't his first love, but it was in his DNA. His father, Rocky Johnson, and grandfather, Peter Maivia, were both pro wrestlers. He entered WWE in 1996 under the name Rocky Maivia. He was pushed as a babyface, and fans hated it. Crowds chanted, "Die, Rocky, die." His early gimmick was a disaster, but Dwayne didn't quit. He went back to creative, rebranded himself as The Rock, and embraced the villain role. He added charisma, trash talk, and confidence. The crowd flipped. By 1998, he was Intercontinental Champion. Boy, I love watching, talking wrestling. By 2000, he had headlined WrestleMania and became one of WWE's biggest stars. He won 10 world titles before retiring from full-time wrestling in 2004. He used that fame as a launch pad for Hollywood, but studios were skeptical. They thought he was too big, too fake, and too tied to wrestling. He took small roles to prove himself. His breakout came in 2002 with The Scorpion King, earning $165 million worldwide. He was paid $5.5 million, the most ever for a first-time leading actor at the time. He didn't rely on muscle alone. He studied acting, dropped weight, and took diverse roles from comedies like The Tooth Fairy. Remember that one? To action franchises like Fast and Furious. In 2011, he joins Fast 5 as Luke Hobbs, instantly reviving the franchise. The film made $626 million and made The Rock bankable. By 2020, Forbes named him the highest paid actor in the world, earning $87.5 million that year alone. He consistently makes $20 to $25 million per film, plus back-end profits. But Dwayne didn't stop with acting. He launched $7 Production, named after the $7 he once had. This is a true story. It now produces major films, TV shows, and his own content. In 2020, he co-founded Terramana Tequila, which sold over 600,000 cases in its first year. By 2023, it was valued at nearly $3 billion, one of the fastest-growing celebrity spirits brands ever. He also built Project Rock with Under Armour apparel, shoes, and gym gear. I have a bunch of those tank tops. Zoa Energy, a clean energy drink brand. A stake in the XFL, the football league he bought with Redbird Capital for $15 million. Today, Dwayne Johnson is worth over $800 million. He went from sleeping on a mattress in a small apartment to becoming one of the most recognized and admired figures in global entertainment. The Rock. He is the man. He really is the man, I must say. I think I'll save the next visionary mind for tomorrow. Nah, we'll do it today. Domino's was once a national joke. People hated the pizza. Sales were crashing. Then a new CEO took over and did something shocking. This is the story of one of the greatest comebacks in fast food history. By 2009, Domino's was in trouble. Customers called the pizza cardboard with ketchup. The stock was at $3. The brand was dying. Patrick Doyle became CEO. Instead of hiding the hate, he leaned into it. He ran ads showing real customer complaints. One said Domino's crust tastes like cardboard. Most CEOs would have fired the marketing team. Doyle used the criticism as fuel. He told the world, "You're right, our pizza sucked. We're fixing it." They rebuilt everything from scratch. New sauce, better cheese, handmade crust, and they invited food critics to try the new version on camera. Total transparency. But Doyle didn't stop with the food. He made Domino's a tech company. They built a pizza tracker, launched an ordering app, and became obsessed with delivery speed. Domino's also redesigned stores and kitchens. They gave customers real-time updates and even let people tweet emojis to place orders. It was fun, fast, and frictionless. The result, sales skyrocketed. The company stock went from 3 to over 500 in 10 years, one of the greatest turnarounds in corporate history. While other brands played defense, Domino's owned its flaws and fixed them in public. They didn't run from criticism. They used it to rebuild trust. The lesson? Admitting you're broken isn't weakness. It's a starting point. Honesty, speed, and customer focus saved Domino's from collapse. I'm not so sure I want to admit all the wrongs. But that worked for Domino's. But still, for the chains, Pizza Hut's better. Especially when they burn the cheese. But I must say, in New York City, La Industrie and Mama's 2, greatest pizza in the United States. I would say in the world, but sorry. In Sorrento, Italy, there is one place where I had some pizza. Right off the little square. Man, oh man. If you're ever in New York City, Mama's 2, T-O-O, and La Industrie. The 2 greatest slices of pizza in the United States. I state that for the record, ladies and gentlemen. That all said, have a great day. Have a great evening. Drive carefully. When you get home, do like we do. Quite simple. Make sure you hug your family. Make sure you hug your children. They will feel better. You will feel better. I promise. Stay well. Be well. Appreciate your time. Good night, all. Bye-bye.